So, what we're hearing from everyone is things like family, those relationships, that's stress inducing, finding the right something for the perfect gift for everyone, and those last minute things. So first of all, let's talk about why is this a stressful time? What actually makes it stressful in your experience? Oh, first of all, I should introduce Rosalie. Yes. She is a body talk practitioner and instructor, and she is literally an expert at making people feel better and get over their own stuff that's kind of holding them back from succeeding. And yeah, so why is this stressful, Rosalie?
Well, it's usually because people have an idea of what the perfect holiday is going to be for them, and they have these expectations combined with not wanting to let anyone down. And that ends up being quite a heavy burden. Perfect holiday, not letting anyone down.
Right. That totally makes sense. That's kind of
Crazy making.
So how do you combat that? Like what do you actually do to get over that or survive the holidays? Dealing with
Well, yeah. So the first thing, and this is my advice pretty much for everything, is stop and breathe. So just take a nice big deep breath. Yes. And what that does is that alone actually gets us right back into our body. Because when we're feeling stressed and fragmented, we are in our head and we are everywhere else. And so coming back to breath gets us centered. Yeah.
All right. What else?
Well, a really awesome thing that helps with the overwhelm is getting really clear on what your personal values are. So we don't want to let people down and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings and that sort of thing. And so we end up saying yes when really we probably should have said no. And what that does is when we say yes, yes, yes to all these things, then we're treating ourselves like robots and putting expectations that are so high that we can't even meet them. So of course we're going to have a stress experience.
Right.
Because we're humans. There's only so much we can do.
We're all human. Yeah.
Yeah. We're having a human experience. We're not robots. So there's we need to really get clear on what are we actually capable of? How much can we take on?
And how do you establish that?
Okay, well, this is something so easy. It's so simple. Okay, first,
it's so easy.
It's so easy. It's so simple. Really, it is. First, take a nice big deep breath. And then get out a piece of paper and ask yourself, okay, what is the most important thing about the holidays for me? And just write out one-word answers. And when it feels like you don't have any more, then take another deep breath, stretch, resets the brain, and ask yourself, what is really important to me about the holiday season? And write out those answers. Do it one more time. Look at your list and itemize the top 10. Put them in the order, just the top 10, the top 10 priorities. And then look at your top 5. And what you're probably going to find is the things that you value the most are like connection, family, whatever it is for you. But this gives you a framework to hold when somebody says, if there's an obligation or there's an invitation or there's something and you don't want to let someone down, you can come back to your list of values, what you value the most. And maybe the top thing on there is having quiet time with your children. And you've just been invited to a party, but you really need to regroup because you don't want to feel like a maniac anymore. You can look like I don't want to let this person down, but you know what? My top value here is quiet time with my kids. So that's what I want to do. And then it makes it easy and you're not letting anyone down. You're taking care of yourself.
Okay, but like, I'm a people pleaser. It's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know this. But how do you do that? Like, how do you say that without upsetting anybody?
Well, I would say something to the tune of, I always want to give 100%. And if I'm not looking after myself, I can't show up 100% for you. And then that lets you down. And that actually lets me down because showing up fully is one of my core values.
Right.
And you can appreciate that right now, especially with how busy things are, that with my core value being spending time with my family, and really connecting with them through quiet time and stillness, that only want to give my best. And I can't do that if I'm spread too thin.
Right. I agree, Jeff. This is
Yeah.
brilliant advice. So what I hear you saying is that responding out of love and kindness.
Yeah. Yeah. Because our friends and family don't want to put a burden on us, just like we don't want to burden them. And there's only so much we can do.
Yeah.
And if it comes to things that you actually just don't want to do, a tip that I like is when we express that we can only do so much, I always throw in at the end, and you can respect that, right?
You're so good. You're so good. Okay.
And if somebody can't respect that, well, that's your answer right there.
So I have a comment. Are we past the point of caring about who we upset by taking care of ourselves? It feels like often we feel badly for establishing boundaries. That is very true. And I know that's something I have a hard time with for sure.
Yeah. Well, about boundaries. Can I tell you my favorite quote? Because like I'm a recovering doormat. I'll say that right now. I'm a recovering doormat. So I've had to learn this the hard way. And then yeah. And my favorite quote on boundaries, I can't remember who said it. It goes something like this. Walls keep everyone out. Boundaries show people where the door is. So yeah, I know. Isn't that awesome?
That's good.
So when we have healthy boundaries, what we're really doing is having an established social contract that we hold inside of ourselves. And this governs how we allow people to treat us. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's how we maintain, it's how we're healthy.
Yeah.
That's how we stay healthy.
Yeah.
Because when we have a boundary and we say no, like even if we want to help, because it's not coming from defensiveness, it's not coming from aggression, it's coming from a loving place within our heart. And when we have a boundary with someone, even if we want to help them, sometimes the best thing for helping someone is saying, like, you're essentially saying, you know what, babe, you are so capable that I 100% know that you got this.
Yeah.
So go out and be awesome.
And
I'm going to be awesome too over here.
I feel like the people that love and respect us are going to understand that. I feel
absolutely.
like they don't understand that. Like you said, they respect that. Maybe I don't understand this boundary of yours, but I respect that that's a boundary you're putting in place, and I love you, so I'm going to respect that. You know, I think sometimes when you're trying to establish boundaries, it can be. I think you've said it before. It's about practice and consistency.
It's about practice.
But at the end of the day, you kind of just have to.
Because the flip side of no boundaries is insanity. Like that. Well, this is what we're talking about. Is like how to stay sane.
Yeah.
Because there's a common thread that people are just trying to get through the holiday season.
Yes.
We don't have to just get through.
Yeah.
We can thrive.
Yeah.
And have amazing experiences where we feel supported and loved by everyone around us.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, so for those comments of like, I'm really stressed out about finding the right gift for everyone, how do you deal with that? How do you deal with that stress?
Well, come back to your breath and look for completion, not perfection.
Mm. Yeah.
And sometimes, I was thinking about this actually this morning, so it's funny that you brought it up. Realize that we all have different love languages, and a physical material gift isn't everyone's love language.
Right.
Actually, a physical gift isn't my love language. So I give from my heart. I spend time with people because I love my own company, and I love painting by myself and being artistic, and just so when I share with people and I bring them in, that is the biggest gift I can give, right? And then I love supporting people in that. So even realizing that it doesn't have to be like, you look at what your love languages are and then give from that place, because it's not always a material thing.
Right.
And the perfect gift is going to be you.
Okay. And what about that overwhelm and the last minute things? Someone commented like it's the last minute things that stress people out, right? Like it's Christmas Eve, you're down to the deadline and you have this huge list of stuff to do and not enough time to do it.
Right. So again, take a big deep breath, go for completion, not perfection, and ask yourself in each moment to moment, what is the one thing that I need to do right now? Maybe the one thing you need to do is take a breather.
Yeah.
And then look at your list and something will pop out. And then go for completion, and your list, you'll get through it. And prioritize. Is it something that is it like the extra that you just want, but it's actually not a priority? And let it go. Just let it go. Because when your family and your friends get together, all of that stuff, it actually doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Because it's all about connecting from the heart. And and sharing that love and connection. So just let it go, but ask yourself, what is the one thing that I can do right now? And then just do it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Anything else you wanted to say, Rosalie?
Go for completion, not perfection, because you're perfectly imperfect. And we're all having a human experience. So enjoy it.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. And thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I hope you have a much easier holiday and can use some of this. Let us know how it goes. Let us know if this works for you. And don't hesitate to send more questions. Rosalie will definitely follow up. So
Absolutely.
thank you, my dear.
Thank you so much.